Truckies and newcomers, welcome back. How the hell are you? Hey, if you didn't read the title, I have a question for you, and then I'm gonna tell you another story. But for you guys and girls that are able to drive, do you get road rage? If you do, leave a comment. Would love to hear about some of your wacky stories and stuff like that. But here's a wacky story from me. And it's not one of my greatest moments, but it did happen and whatever. Me and another driver friend were coming up out of Texas. And we were taking back roads because where we loaded at was like in the middle of frickin' nowhere. Go figure, right? Texas, middle of frickin' nowhere. Yeah. So we were coming back up. I had my black W9 named Voodoo. Picture now. You like that? Anyways, so we were coming up and we were almost to I-35. And you know, this is like last week I mentioned about, you know, a few tips for sharing the roads with big trucks. And one of the tips was, you know, taking away the truck's stopping distance. And this lady and her, I don't know, boyfriend or whatever, did that to me, and I literally got the truck stopped like an inch from basically hitting him. The guy in the passenger seat, the boyfriend or whatever he was, the guy in the passenger seat decided to jump out and start yelling at me, which unfortunately set me off. And I set the brakes and I jumped out of the truck and I laid into him, and all he could do was go and I told him to get his happy ass back in the goddamn car, and sorry for the language, but get back in the damn car and, you know, go on. And he kept lipping off. Well, he and his fiance or whatever, girlfriend, boyfriend, I don't know what the hell she was, they did not know that Voodoo had 1,200 horsepower going to the ground. You heard me right. 1,200 horsepower. And, well, it was like 11 something. And so, fully loaded, I could pretty much outrun a car. And I was boiling. I mean, I was boiling. So the light turned green and I'm literally pushing them off the stoplight. And I'm riding it. Here's the deal, all right, people. This could have gone so bad so many different times. And at the time, I didn't see it. Okay? So I know, I get it. It was the wrong thing to do. But, you know, so I was pushing them, literally almost pushing them from the stoplight. And you could tell they were starting to freak out, which is kind of what I was intending to do. I wasn't really going to hurt them. I wasn't going to hit them or, you know, anything like that, which I could have at any given second. But, you know, I just wanted to scare the crap out of them, like, hey, you know, not every truck you can outrun. So we went through the next light, which was green. The third, whatever light it was, I can't remember how many lights. I think there was like 4 or 5 lights. We made it to almost halfway. So the road splits into 3 lanes, right? It's 2 lanes one way, and it splits to 3. So I immediately jump over into the right because I needed to be in the right lane anyways to get onto I-35. So Yeah, I'm sitting at the same stoplight, at the same line as they are, and they refuse to look at me. I mean, refuse. And I'm just glaring out at the window because I was hot. And so the light turned green. I dumped the freaking clutch, jumped the front end, rolled a ton of freaking coal, and basically just was shifting like crazy. And we get to the I-35 ramp and they slowed down because they were going to get on I-35. So I'm like, okay, you know what? They're gonna go, south. I need to go north. F them, blah blah blah. Stupid four-wheelers, blah 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 blah. And yeah, to my surprise and to their surprise, we both got off on the same exit, going the same direction. And which I didn't know at that particular second that's they intended to go that way. They were on their way to something, and so it kind of like set me off even more because I thought they were following me, and I'm like, oh the hell no. And so I started flooring it going down the ramp. Now, in the meantime, my little bud, trucker friend that was following me is still at like the third or fourth stoplight because he didn't have a hopped up truck like I did. He just had a normal work truck. I mean, a good looking normal work truck. So he's on the radio going, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Where are you? Where are you? And I said, I'm doing 70 on 35. Where the hell are you? But anyways, it was funny as shit. So he ended up calling me on the phone. And so I proved my point. I outran the car. They come by me real nice and sweet like, used their blinkers, didn't cut me off, everything like that. So I'm on the phone with my bud, and he goes, where are you? And I'm telling him what happened, right? And he's like, Jesus Christ. He goes, there's still freaking coal laying up in the air. He goes, and you're already up at the rest area? And I said, yeah. I said, I'm just pulling into the rest area. And I went, get the F word out of here. I said, that same car is pulling in. And he goes, oh dear Lord. And he goes, don't do anything until I get there. And I'm like, fuck that. And so I go tearing into the rest area. And to my surprise, the car went to the truck side, because most American rest areas, U.S. and Canada, I almost said Canada, but Canada, they basically have, like a car side and then a truck side, just to kind of make it a little bit easier for everybody to get, maneuvered around and all that other good stuff. So I pull in there, and now I had straight pipes, and they were bellering. I mean, they were cackling, and they were barking, and I'm just like, yeah, y'all know I'm coming. You better run. And so I pull up, and I pull up right next to them, and by the time I was out the door, I was setting the brakes and shutting the truck down, and I was screaming. And the lady in the driver's seat, who was driving, obviously, but she gets out, she's like, I am so sorry, I didn't mean to do it, I told my boyfriend to stay in or whatever, husband or whatever the hell she said he was, brother or something, I can't remember what the fuck he was, and I told him to keep his mouth shut and stay in the car, and I would take care of this, and she's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know, and blah 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 blah, and she's like, please don't hurt us and everything like that. And I said, ma'am, the next time you want to fuck with a truck driver, I said, make sure it ain't a truck driver that can outrun your ass fully fucking loaded. I was mad. And so here comes my buddy. He parks on the other side, and he gets out, and she starts crying because she thought we were going to do something. There was no way I was ever going to do anything. Now, if her boyfriend or brother or whatever would have gotten in my face and touched me, I probably would have. Or touched the truck. But, nothing was ever done, and I didn't plan on going that far, or I didn't really plan on any of it, but, you know, so, so she's like now freaking out, and I'm just like, all right, let's go our separate. You guys go ahead and enjoy your day. I said, next time, use your freaking brain. I said, that was stupid. I almost, you know, wiped you out. And I said, I literally, where I stopped, that wasn't on purpose, or that wasn't, you know, that wasn't to mess with you guys. You took away my stopping distance. That's literally where I stopped. And she's like, oh my God, you know, she starts just losing her mind. And I'm like, oh my Lord, here we go. So they you know, she apologizes, and he's just, you know, he's wanting to do something. And I said, well, get in your car, and I said, roll down your passenger window. I said, I want to tell him something. And she's like, okay, well, don't hurt him, don't hurt him, don't hurt him. And I'm like, I'm not going to hurt him. And so she rolls down her window, and I said, the next time you want to open your big mouth, I said, make sure that the truck driver behind you isn't willing to go to jail after ending your retarded gene pool. I said, you can't outrun me. And he just kind of looked and he went, sorry. And I went, thank you. And they left. I never saw him ever again. But, so the moral of the story is, you know, and this is a God's honest truth story. If my trucking buddy ever sees this, which I doubt he will, because he's, you know, part of the elite fleet, I guess the Swift of flatbedding out of Monticello or Albertville, Minnesota. I'm not going to say the name of the company, but yeah, they're like the Swift of the flatbed world now. I don't know, whatever. And they turned out to be a joke. But anywho, yeah. So if he sees this and he wants to comment, he can actually verify. But yeah, it was an interesting day. And you know, so do I road rage? Oh, hell yeah, I road rage. You cannot drive up and down the highway without fucking road raging. I'm sorry. You can't. You know, you got too many people thinking that they're, you know, expert vacation drivers, and they left 10 minutes late, 20 minutes late, or they're lost, and, you know, whatever it is. You cannot drive a big truck up and down the highways, whether it's in-state, out-of-state, in the country, out of the country, doesn't matter. You will road rage. So, let me repeat my question. I admitted I road rage. Told you one story. Do you guys road rage? I have a feeling I already know the answer, but leave a comment, leave the answer in the comments. And guys and girls, thank you for watching. Be safe, make a positive difference, and oh yeah, like, sub, share. You didn't think I was gonna leave that out, did you? Hell no. Anyways, guys and girls, thank you so much for watching, and you always got to ride cool on your stool. Thank you. Good day.